This is Good Morning Indiana, working for you.
New details about the Muncie mom facing charges in the death of her 3-month-old daughter. The injuries officials say the little girl had before she died.
Fathers were not dead beat, but dead broke.
Reaching out to lift up Indianapolis fathers with a drive to provide for their children. Now, the Fathers and Families program helps them land meaningful and sustainable jobs. Coming up in Hiring Hoosiers.
When the moon hits your eyes like a big pizza pie, I'm Erin Lish. We are here at the Italian Street Festival. We will have everything you need to know coming up here on Good Morning Indiana. Well, thanks for joining us here on Good Morning Indiana to start your Friday. I'm Nicole Griffin.
And I'm Meredith Barrick, and that's amore. That pizza looks delicious, and that sunrise is stunning, too. Todd, we've got a nice day ahead of us.
Yeah, beautiful day, and today is the best day we probably have out of the next 7 days. If that kind of tells you the weather pattern we're going to get into. So soak up the sun here today and the comfortable conditions. Not only do we not have a cloud in the sky, you don't have that haze out there or the humidity. That remains low throughout the day today. So not only is it going to be sunny, it's going to be very comfortable from start to finish. A little cool for maybe some of you this morning. 48 in Indy right now, 44 in Greencastle, 45 is the current temperature over in Richmond, but there is not a cloud to be found, and that's the way it is for a good chunk of the day today. Eventually, some of these high, thin clouds off to our west, they'll start to make their way in here this afternoon and into the evening hours, but we'll never go completely overcast on probably till after sunset. So notice the quick warm-up. We're through the 50s and into the 60s by 10 a.m. We're approaching 70 degrees already between noon and 1 o'clock, and then eventually into the mid-70s for your afternoon high. The time now is 6:02. Let's get a look at traffic this morning.
Todd, thank you. Let's take a live look outside on this Friday morning as the sun comes up. This is I-70 at Harding Street. There you can see traffic is starting to pick up here in this area. We are monitoring if there are any problems, and there is nothing to report out on the roadways right now. New this morning, a Yorkville man is in critical condition after being hit by a suspected drunk driver.
Police say the driver who they believe caused the crash was just 18 years old. It happened last night on West State Road 32. Deputies say 18-year-old Hayden Diller of Noblesville crossed the center line and sideswiped a Lincoln Town car. The driver of that car, 76-year-old James Garrett, was airlifted to an Indy hospital with broken bones and a chest wound. Again, police believe alcohol was a factor in the crash, but so far there's no word on if any charges have been filed.
Disturbing new details as a Muncie mother now faces more charges in the death of her infant daughter. Sarah Stile was arrested over the weekend after her 3-month-old daughter, Shay Anna Marie, died. While the baby's cause of death is still pending, court documents showed the little girl had burns covering most of her body and had fractures on both arms and legs. The baby also appeared malnourished. Stile told investigators she thought her baby was having an allergic reaction to something, and she had treated the little girl with Icy Hot after she fell out of a stroller. Stile is now facing 2 charges of neglect causing death, and her bail has been raised to $100,000.
Residents dealing with bills from storm damage cleanup after the Memorial Day tornadoes can now apply for extra help. Low-interest disaster loans are now available to help cover cleanup and repair costs. The United States Small Business Administration is offering the loans to people in Madison, Delaware, Grant, Hancock, Tipton, and Henry counties. If you're interested in applying, you can head to this story on the IndyChannel.com or the RTV6 app.
Police in northern Indiana are searching for the suspects wanted for killing a Maryville teenager trying to sell his Xbox. Officers say the deadly shooting happened during a robbery in Gary on Wednesday night. 16-year-old Johnny Poluera reportedly traveled to Gary with his dad to make the sale after posting the listing on the app OfferUp. The teen was with the suspects while they tested the Xbox when someone pulled out a gun. The 16-year-old was shot in the back and died while his father was sitting in a car just feet away. The suspects then took off and are still at large this morning.
A Greenwood mother is raising concerns about drivers speeding through her neighborhood after her family's cat was killed. She's worried the next accident could be worse. Vanessa Canchola says in the past week, a speeding car hit and killed their cat, while another driver could not slow down in time to avoid a basketball that rolled into the street. The speed limit on Briarstone Drive, where she lives, is 25. She's worried her children's safety is now at risk.
My fear is if my kid would have went out after that ball, it would have been my kid, not the ball. They go more, maybe about 35, 40, maybe even more than that. They rev their engines from down the road and speed out.
Greenwood residents can request a traffic impact study by clicking on the Citizens Connect tool on the city's website. You can also tell Greenwood police about speeding, and officers will then monitor the issue to see if extra patrols are needed. And if you see a safety issue in your neighborhood and need help getting results, contact us at workingforyou@rtv6.com.
I never leave my purse visible or in the vehicle anyways, and that day I just jumped out in a hurry, left it sitting.
Security improvements are coming to a Mooresville park after a series of smash and grabs targeted cars parked at Pioneer Park. Jessica Catter-Henry was taking pictures on the covered bridge the day she left her purse in the car as she rushed out. When she got back, her windows were broken and several items, including her purse, were gone. The park is currently in the process of installing a new $50,000 security system that will include cameras, but right now they aren't up and running just yet.
Governor Holcomb says he's not worried about keeping marijuana from traveling into Indiana as several surrounding states legalize the drug. Next year, recreational marijuana will be legal in Illinois. It's already legal for recreational use in Michigan and medical use in Ohio. The Indiana State Police will be tasked with patrolling the interstates near Indiana's borders.
We got the best state police force in the country. I may be a little biased when I say that, but by every indicator that we measure, they are just that, and they'll continue to do their job, and they'll do it with distinction, regardless of policy changes that I think prematurely have been made in states surrounding us.
Indiana has not taken any serious steps towards legalizing marijuana, either recreationally or medically. It is time to treat your senses at this year's Italian Street Festival and take in all the great food and entertainment.
From the cannolis to the live music, the Holy Rosary Church wants you to feel like you are in the heart of Italy. Our Erin Lish is live in the kitchen where they are preparing for this busy weekend. Erin, good morning.
Good morning. I have a pretty good gig this morning. We have Lisa and Kayla here with us. So it's time to make some pizzas, right?
Exactly.
So tell us, how many different types of items do you guys have here for the Italian Street?
We have 13 to 14, counting the desserts, counting the meatball sandwiches, the sausage sandwiches, the spaghetti and meatballs, the fettuccine. We have breadsticks. We have, of course, everybody loves pizza. You can't go wrong with our pizzas. We do make them personal pan pizzas made to order. We have pepperoni, sausage, and cheese this year. You just can't go wrong. We have free, the best thing is it's free to get in, and we have free parking across the street for Eli Lilly's. We have bands playing throughout the whole festival from 5 to 11. Bring a lawn chair, enjoy yourself. We're family friendly. We invite everybody to bring their kids, have a blast, and enjoy it. You know, this is our fundraiser for our church. I mean, this is what supports the Holy Rosary Italian Street Festival.
And I know it starts at 5, goes till 11. Same thing for tomorrow. What is the key to making Italian food at home? I know a lot of people like Italian food. What's your biggest piece of advice?
Garlic. Everything has garlic, and everything takes time. There's no rush. You cannot rush making good Italian food.
And I feel like this is a family affair. I mean, you guys are both here. What does it mean to be a family and Italian?
Love, support. I mean, every family, we don't get to, it seems like we don't get together as much as we should, but when we do get together, I mean, it's like we didn't miss a beat.
All right. Well, we're going to end up putting these in the oven, and then we're going to switch over to dessert. Going to talk a little bit more about cannolis in the next half hour, but for now, I'll send it back to you guys in the studio.
All right, should be beautiful for the Italian Fest and anything else going on across central Indiana this evening. It's just as nice this morning, maybe a little cool for some of you. Temperatures anywhere from 45 to 50 degrees, but we have the sunny skies and the air mass is very, very comfortable as the humidity is really, really low. So skies are clear. The clouds off to our west. You'll notice some of these clouds start to increase a little bit this evening, but the rain will hold off until after midnight. That is the good news, so you can enjoy not only the sunshine, but temperatures today that'll be in the mid-70s. 70s to the north, about 75 in Tipton, 76 in Crawfordsville. To the south, temperatures basically the same ball game here. We're in the same air mass, 77 in Bedford and Seymour, and then in and around the metro area, high temperatures will be right around 75 degrees with those mostly sunny skies. So get out there and enjoy. If you are heading up into Fisher's there, Symphony on the Prairie, the music of Queen tonight. So that should be a great show. Sit on the hill and watch the great symphony orchestra play some of that music. Temperatures starting in the 70s, fall into the 60s. Should be nice with, again, just some increasing clouds late in the evening. We'll talk about those rain chances for tomorrow coming up in just a few minutes.
Todd, thank you. Still ahead, helping Indianapolis fathers in need of a hand land a job that can provide for their family. The organization working to build up better families and communities through a career. Next in Hiring Hoosiers.
Plus, Press Secretary Sarah Sanders is out, announcing she's returning home to Arkansas at the end of the month. Why Sanders says she's choosing to leave the White House after the break.
And we are taking a live look right now at I-465 at I-74 on the west side. You can see traffic moving along smoothly in that area. Don't forget to grab your sunglasses as you head out the door. It's 6:11. We'll be right back.
Welcome back. Here's a look at I-65 at 465 on the northwest side. I-65 northbound from 465 up to 865 will close at 9 p.m. tonight for the next 2 weeks while crews repair. So watch out for the detour signs if you are headed that way this weekend. RTV6's Hiring Hoosiers initiative was created to not only help you better your life, but improve the life of your family. It's a mission similar to one local organization.
That organization has been helping fathers succeed in the workforce and at home for more than 25 years. And ahead of this Father's Day, I went to the Fathers and Families Center to learn more about how they have helped thousands of men find and maintain employment.
I'm tired of the foolishness and living this type of life. I'm looking for a change, and then I already had a son at that particular time as well.
It was a challenging time for Randolph Weather Jr.
I was going through difficulty with jobs and employment in my life. Friendships, different relationships.
Then someone told him about the Fathers and Families Center.
We are a beacon of hope to a lot of young men who do not want a handout, but lift up.
The Fathers and Families Center helps dads not only become providers, but nurturers.
The community realized that fathers were not dead beat, but dead broke, and needed some assistance, particularly those who entered the role of fatherhood at an early age as a teenager. We have a number of men who are fathers, but who have gotten involved in the criminal justice system, dealing with mental health, dealing with drug and substance abuse. Well, those societal ills impact families, and so therefore our premise is that if you make strong fathers, you will have strong families. If you have strong families, you will have strong communities.
McLaughlin says they realize many unemployed men want to work.
People are unemployed because there are a lot of systemic and personal social barriers that may get in the way for them finding meaningful employment. But when they come here, we don't judge them. We examine where they are, but we also take an asset model that you're bringing something to the table. Otherwise, you wouldn't have come here.
Men who seek out the organization are in class for 3 weeks, taken on job tours, and learn soft skills needed to succeed.
We have a strong employment workforce development program to help men find meaningful and gainful employment, and also not only find it, help them to retain.
And once that happens, life at home improves too.
We have fathers from 16 to 72 who need help. And I think what is so meaningful to us is that we're making a difference, that a child now has better life options, that there's a hope for the future that they can look forward to. We always tell the men, your children ought to do better than you. And we're allowing them to be able to set a solid foundation so that their children can do. We're really trying to turn the hearts of the fathers towards their children.
That's exactly what Randolph did. Now a full-time guest services supervisor at the Hyatt downtown.
You've got to start somewhere, and I've always been told you all you got to do is get your foot in the door and just show who you are and be yourself and be true to who you are. And when you do good things happen.
Fathers and Families also offers a high school equivalency program and counseling services. They welcome anyone to walk into their location on North Illinois Street to learn more. We've also put a link to their website on hiringhoosiers.com. It is 6:17, Todd, and if anyone has Father's Day plans, they're going to need to bring an umbrella out this weekend.
Yeah, certainly as we get into the weekend, we're going to start to see better storm chances in the forecast. Today, though, if you have plans, maybe celebrating early, you're in great shape. There's not a cloud in the sky this morning, and that's the way it stays for a good chunk of the day. Eventually, some high thin clouds approach later on this evening. 48 degrees, that's the current temperature. Didn't quite set the record. The record low for this day was 45, set back in 1955, but still a cool morning by mid-June standards for us. 43 in Greencastle, currently 44 in Richmond. Greensburg, you're currently sitting at 47 degrees. But here's the good news. Now that the sun is officially up, sunrise was just a minute ago, we'll start to see our temperatures warm quite quickly here throughout the morning hours. And eventually by the noon hour, we're probably pushing 70 degrees already. So yesterday's rain is off to our east. There's more rain off to our west. And you just see these clusters of storms. And that's essentially what's going to be heading in our direction over the next few days. You do not have to worry about it, though, for the day today. We start off completely sunny. We stay mostly sunny through the noon hour at 69 degrees. And then temperatures today will top off right around 75 degrees with just increasing clouds this evening. But if you do have evening plans, you are in great shape. The Indians are in town, and it's Friday night. So you know what that means. Fireworks after the game. You can stick around for those. Starting off at 72 degrees with mostly sunny skies, then just increasing clouds throughout the evening. Temperatures fall into the mid-60s, and this forecast applies for any event outside, not just the Indians game. And I know there's so many going on here this weekend. Now, for the weekend, we are talking about rain showers, both Saturday and, unfortunately, as we get into the day on Sunday, you'll notice the humidity comes up as well. So things are just going to be very unsettled. Here we are, 7:30 tonight, increasing clouds at this point. We remain dry until after midnight, but overnight some scattered showers start to develop, and then we'll deal with some showers and a few storms throughout the day tomorrow. And there could be some locally heavy rainfall at times throughout the day tomorrow, but there's also some breaks in the rain, so it's not a steady rain throughout the entire day. So there will be an opportunity, I think, for you to get out and about and do some of these festivals. If you have concert plans tomorrow evening, just know that there will be some storms around. But again, everything kind of comes in waves at us. So once the wave goes through, there could be some delays, and you can get your event in. And then here we are at 1:30 in the morning. The next wave comes through and heading into Sunday. So Sunday is not a washout either for Father's Day. But again, there will be the chance of showers and storms. And then we just maintain that chance in the forecast really all the way through Wednesday. If you remember back to a few weeks ago, Memorial Day in the first week of June when we had all those storms rolling through, it's going to be that similar of a pattern as we get into next week with the humidity, temperatures around 80s, and then again the chance of an isolated storm each and every day. The time now is 6:20. Here's an update on the roads once again.
Todd, thank you. If you are traveling into or out of Johnson County, this is a live look at I-65 at County Line Road right now. You can see not any issues, traffic moving along at a normal pace. It's a great way to start off your Friday morning.
A shakeup at the White House. Press Secretary Sarah Sanders announcing she will leave at the end of the month.
Her departure comes 3.5 years after joining the administration. The president initially announced her departure on Twitter and encouraged the daughter of a former Arkansas governor to run for the governor's seat herself. In a speech at the White House, Sanders says she's looking forward to spending more time with her 3 kids. So far, no word on who will replace Sanders as press secretary.
In the race for the White House in 2020, the first debate between the Democratic candidates will be crowded. 20 candidates qualified with only former Montana Governor Steve Bullock, Massachusetts Representative Seth Moulton, and a Florida Mayor Wayne Messam failing to make the cut. The 20 candidates, including Indiana's own Mayor Pete Buttigieg, will be divided into 2 separate debates with 10 people each. Those debates will be held in Miami on June 26th and June 27th.
In Kentucky, officials are working to track down whoever vandalized a mural of famous Kentucky natives, including Muhammad Ali. Ali was the target of the vandalism with the words racist, anti-Semitic, and homophobe covering his face. The vandalism comes just a week after the annual Ali event, in Louisville, celebrating the boxer's life and legacy. It is 6:22, caught on camera, a Florida mail carrier in trouble after throwing packages onto a front porch.
The video caught her throwing packages over the fence not one time but twice this week. The residents say when they opened one of their Amazon deliveries, a diaper dispenser, it was cracked. After seeing the video, the Postal Service came and apologized to the family. As for the mail carrier, well, the family does not want her fired, but they do want her to stop throwing packages.
What I would really like is that they told her to don't do it again, you know? Because I don't want nobody lose the job because everybody have a family, you know?
Amazon did replace the broken diaper dispenser. The Postal Service is not commenting about the carrier and if she will remain on the job.
Still ahead, move over Michael Phelps, a bald eagle caught putting in some laps. Why experts think the bird took a break from flying to get a little swim in. That's coming up next.
Plus, keep watching. We still have a pair of tickets to see Josh Groban to give away sometime in the next half hour. We'll give the cue to call in, so stick with us here on Good Morning Indiana for your chance to win. We'll be right back. Welcome back to Good Morning Indiana. Here's a look at I-70 on the west side at Sam Jones Expressway. Another full closure is planned along this interstate for some repairs this weekend. I-70 eastbound from 465 to the South Split will close at 9 p.m. but will reopen in time for the Monday morning commute around 6 a.m. Nothing to see here, just a bald eagle getting some laps in. This incredible video of a bald eagle swimming was captured in New Hampshire this week.
The guy who shot the video said he was shocked when he noticed the bird doing what looked like the breaststroke. Wildlife experts say the bird was most likely hunting and had a large fish in its talons before it got to shore. Bald eagles can not only swim, but they can also stop and float if needed.
Learn something new every day. Wow. He does look like he's doing the breaststroke.
I mean, I would almost be concerned at first, like, oh, is that eagle in need of help? Or, you know, is it injured or something? But then once you see it's going at a pretty good pace. Wow.
They're impressive animals.
They are.
I mean, I went to Alaska with my mom a few years ago, and they're everywhere there. And just seeing them with their wingspan, and you spot them in the trees like golf balls on a fairway. You just see these little white spots in the trees, and that's all their heads. So, yeah, impressive animals.
Very cool.
All right, outside right now, it's cool. We're in the 40s. We're warming up to 75 degrees later on this afternoon with mostly sunny skies. A beautiful day today. Take advantage because you see what's down the pipe here as we go through the weekend and into next week. Lots of storms heading our way and wet weather with temperatures right around 80 degrees. The time now is 6:27. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Buy, finance, drive on.
This is Good Morning Indiana, working for you.
Now at 6:30, get ready for a massive headache on the interstate around the Circle City starting this weekend. We have everything you need to know about the big closures on I-65 starting tonight.
And get ready for some delicious Italian food this weekend. We are live as the preparations are underway right now in the kitchen for the annual Italian Street Festival. Thanks for starting your Friday morning with us here on Good Morning Indiana. I'm Nicole Griffin.
And I'm Meredith Barrick. Meteorologist Todd Clausen here delivering a great Friday forecast and then a lot of bad news.
The umbrella is going to be all of our best friends here once we get past today. So you really need to take advantage of today with so much going on and need to get out and about. So this morning, as you get ready to walk out the door, you need to grab these sunglasses. You'll need those throughout the entire day today. From start to finish, it's going to be a sun-filled day for us. And you probably need at least a light jacket here this morning with temperatures that are currently sitting in the 40s in many locations. But there is not a cloud in the sky. A beautiful sunrise taking place all across the area. 48 in Indy right now, as well as Bloomington. 48 is also the current temperature up in Kokomo. So off to our west, you do notice some clouds. You'll notice some high thin clouds floating in here during the afternoon hours, but that should be just about it. So as you plan your morning out, the biggest takeaway is how quickly the warm temperatures start to make their way in here. We start off at 59 at 9 a.m. We're up to 69 already by the noon hour. So sunny, right around 70 for your lunch hour. And as we transition into the afternoon hours, just some high thin clouds and high temperatures. climbing into the mid-70s. Meredith?
Todd, thank you. Construction crews will be doing more work along I-65 this weekend. That means parts of the interstate will again be closed, impacting how you'll get around the city. Here's a look at the area this construction will be impacting. And this closure is different than the ones we've seen over the past month. Instead of just a weekend closure, this project will shut down parts of I-65 for a little more than 2 weeks. Starting tonight, I-65 northbound will close for about a week from 465 up to 865 on the northwest side. Crews will be repaving northbound lanes starting at 9 o'clock tonight. The closure is expected to last until July 1st. Then the southbound lanes will close for construction. INDOT says you can follow detours on both 465 and 865 to get around this road work. And here's another look at the area that will be impacted by construction this weekend. This is I-70 at Harding Street. The eastbound lanes of I-70 between the South Split and I-465 on the west side will close at 9 tonight and stay closed through 6 a.m. Monday. There are also 3 other projects happening on area interstates this weekend. For a breakdown of those construction zones, head to the RTV6 app and click on this story.
It's a problem many of us encounter every day, potholes, but people in a neighborhood on the south side of Indianapolis are facing extra frustration because they cannot even report the issue to the city. People who live in Greenleaf Acres near South Keystone and East Hannah say they cannot report the potholes to the Mayor's Action Center because the system won't allow it.
It keeps saying this is not their responsibility. Every one of these residents have called the Mayor's Action Center, but they can't even log the complaint because their system doesn't allow them to log the complaint.
Several times I was told, we don't live on a city street. Well, if I don't live on a city street, why do I pay city taxes? And why do they pick up our trash?
RTV6 looked into the issue for those homeowners when trying to report the potholes using the Request Indy app. An error says the street is private and to contact the complex management, associate, or developer to request service. But there is no homeowners association anymore, and there has not been one for years. After we took that information to city officials, they said crews would fix the potholes, but a few hours later said they legally cannot because state laws don't allow them to use road funding dollars on private property. RTV6 will continue to try and find a solution for these residents.
A flight from Indianapolis to Paris, France had to be diverted after a witness says a passenger started shouting and attacking crew members. The Delta flight from Indianapolis International Airport turned around and landed in Detroit. You can see the flight path here. We reached out to Delta for information. The airline does confirm the flight was diverted to remove an unruly passenger.
2 federal lawsuits are now on the books following the explosive video showing abuse of animals at one of Indiana's largest agritourism operations. The lawsuits target Fairlife Milk, which used milk from Indiana's Fair Oaks farms until last week. That's when an animal rights group first released video showing Fair Oaks workers abusing calves at the farm. The lawsuits were filed in Chicago, where Fairlife is headquartered. They accused the company of fraud for claiming their cows received extraordinary care. The lawsuits also named Fair Oaks owners Mike and Sue McCloskey, who were the co-founders of Fairlife.
A murder investigation in Alaska leads investigators to arrest a man hundreds of miles away in New Salisbury, Indiana. Darren Schillmiller from Harrison County was arrested after prosecutors say videos and text messages asking for child porn were found on a murder suspect's phone. Federal prosecutors in Anchorage say Schillmiller contacted the Alaska murder suspect, Denali Bremer, asking her to create and produce child porn and send it back to him. Police found text messages and videos on Bremer's phone where Schillmiller told the woman to sexually assault 2 minors. Schillmiller is currently in federal custody and will be extradited to Alaska to face the charges.
An 8-year prison term will stand for a Vigo County man who pleaded guilty in the death of a malnourished boy with cerebral palsy. Hubert Kramer was sentenced last December, but he said his sentence was too harsh. This week, the appeals court ruled against him. The victim, 9-year-old Cameron Hoopengarner, was blind and weighed less than 15 pounds when authorities found him in February of 2017. at the Kramer home.
A $100 million expansion is coming to the Butler University campus. It's the university's largest single investment in school history. The money will be used to renovate and expand Butler's science facilities. The project includes new high-tech classrooms and labs that mimic labs at top research companies. The first 2 phases of construction are set to start soon and will take an estimated 18 months to complete.
Fettuccine, tortellini, and cannolis. Well, these are just a few of the sweet and savory dishes at this year's Italian Street Festival. And you can certainly carb load at this free event happening right here in Indy. Our Aaron Lish is live at the Holy Rosary Catholic Church with the cooks in the kitchen. Not a bad assignment this morning, Aaron.
It's really not. I skipped breakfast just for today. We're here with Lisa. We've been with her all morning long from the Italian Street Festival. You are the person behind all of this magic. I'm a big sweet tooth person, so tell us a little bit about the cannolis as I attempt to make one.
Well, we do make them. We take this all day. It takes us a full day. We make about 400 bags of cannoli cream. Look at that. That is a professional.
Yeah.
We got another volunteer. We have another volunteer. And we, like I say, we can't indulge the recipe, but we certainly want you to come out and try it. We're here Friday from 5 to 11. Friday and Saturday, free parking. We make them on site at the stand. We fill them on site, and we're looking to sell about 7,000 this year, so we certainly need the attendance.
And what about these cheesecakes? Because I love cheesecake. How many sheets of these do you make?
We make about 75 cheesecakes, sheets of cheesecake, homemade. We just made them yesterday, so you can't go wrong. We have toppings strawberry, caramel, and chocolate, of course.
So this is all amazing food. It's free to come here. Parking's free over at Eli Lilly. What does this mean to you to be a part of all of this?
It's a generation thing for my family. I'm the second generation. My daughter, which was on earlier, Kayla Walker, is our third generation. So, I mean, it's my church. It's part of me to give back. I mean, I feel like obligation. I mean, I enjoy it. Of course, I wouldn't spend my 100 hours of whole week here, and I do have great volunteers. I can't do it without them.
All right, well, you guys can check this out. Again, it starts at 5 o'clock tonight. And Todd, how is the weather going to look while I take one of these cannolis to go?
Please, good weather.
Yeah,
please.
it's going to be beautiful.
Professional eater, too. There you go.
They're still going. They're still talking, even eating the cannoli. All right, outside right now, we're dealing with quiet weather. For that great festival later on this evening, we are in tip-top shape. Here we go. Our featured dog of the day today is Addie. Thanks to Gina for sending Addie in. Sitting there in the lawn already. Looks like to go out for a walk. Great dog walking weather today. Green paws from start to finish. A little on the cool side here this morning, 48 degrees, but warming into the mid-70s later on this afternoon. So off to our west, we have showers and we have some thunderstorms. You'll notice the high, thin clouds start to make their way in here later on this afternoon and into the evening hours. We remain dry, but eventually overnight, some of these storms start to arrive. And then I hate to do this, but our rain chances the next 4 days for Saturday, Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday are high. As we get into a very tropical-like pattern, we'll get these very heavy downpours here and there across the area. So a good tool always to have when we get into these heavy rainstorms, because there will be the potential in the coming days of some severe weather as well, is the Download Storm Shield. It is free for you to download. It's basically a weather radio on your phone. It'll alert you to any watches or warnings that are issued for your area. Also has a nice interactive radar that you can control kind of time out if you can get a walk in or two. So again, download it for free. We'll talk more about the rain chances for the weekend coming up in just a few minutes.
All right, Todd, thank you. A reunion 75 years in the making coming up here on Good News Friday. The incredible moment an American D-Day veteran when he was reunited with the French woman he fell in love with during the war.
And it's a giveaway every music fan isn't going to want to miss. Just after the break, we have your chance to win tickets to see Josh Groban live in concert, along with a very special prize pack. It's 6:40. Stick with us. We'll be right back. We have reached the end of another long week, and that means it's time for the return of our favorite segment, Good News Friday.
And with Father's Day coming up this Sunday, we found the perfect story to kick things off. This is Donovan Hale, and he's a wide receiver for the Indiana University football team.
Not only is Donovan a standout on the football field, he's also a proud dad. His son Weston turns 2 later this month, and this offseason he has become Donovan's workout buddy and biggest motivator.
What a cutie. Well, Donovan says being a dad has changed his life and that he loves being there every step of the way for his son.
So to be sure to look for Donovan on the field this coming fall, and little Weston cheering on his dad from the stands at Memorial Stadium. I think it's safe to say little Weston there might be the cutest guy there in Bloomington.
So cute. All right. Well, this morning an Indianapolis family is asking for your help. This is 32-year-old Bryce Ryan, and he has been going through a tough time recently. Bryce is a high-functioning autistic man, but was seriously hurt earlier this year when he fell and broke his neck. He has been recovering well, but his mom is asking the community to help cheer him up and encourage him with his recovery. She is appealing to people to send Bryce cards at the hospital to help cheer him up. Bryce has already received a number of well wishes, but we would love to do our part and help him out. So be sure to check out our RTV6 Facebook page later today for the details on how you can send Bryce a card to help encourage his recovery.
Last week, the world marked the 75th anniversary of the D-Day landings on Normandy Beach in France.
Well, last week there was also a reunion that brought together 2 people who never thought that they would see each other ever again. In 1944, a young American soldier fell in love with a French woman, but they never were able to reconnect after the war. That was until last week.
She's alive.
Don't kid me. Don't kid me.
And we're gonna meet her.
We're gonna meet her?
Yes. She's alive.
Well,
and she's waiting for you.
Don't kid me.
Yeah.
I always loved you. I always loved you. You never got out of my heart.
Oh, here we go. You guys have made me cry again. Their lives may have taken them in separate directions, but for several hours last week, they had the chance to reconnect more than 7 decades later.
Oh, that is the sweetest thing. Oh my gosh. Their love is still so strong.
Can I get a tissue? Tyler. Oh, that's just beautiful. Sorry. All right. Well, a police officer in Austin, Texas has people talking this morning.
Well, people are reaching out after his incredible act of kindness went viral. It all started last week when Officer James Riley was on patrol and found a young boy walking alone in a parking lot.
Officer Riley found out the young boy had walked to the store alone to get snacks for a younger sibling. That's when he found out the family was going through a rough time and didn't have much food at home. So that's when Officer Riley jumped in to help.
He personally went to the grocery store and bought an entire cart full of groceries and snacks for the boys and their family. He also helped connect the family to services to help them keep food on the table.
Oh, that's another great story as well. What a good guy. And take a look at this. Here is another example of a police officer going above and beyond. This is Officer Matt Satilla, and he was called to check on an elderly woman at her home in Minnesota. Well, after checking the home and finding the woman was okay and in good health, he noticed her yard was in bad shape and needed to be mowed. So Officer Matt grabbed the woman's lawnmower and went to work cutting the grass himself. Since the police department posted this picture, people have offered to help the woman keep her grass cut in the future.
Going the extra mile. So awesome. Well, what used to be trash is now getting a second life as something delicious.
A cereal company is working together with breweries to create some very unique beers. The Kellogg Company is taking the cereal that would never make it on the shelves of stores and turning it into 3 different beers. They're working with a brewery in England for the project. Cornflakes that are either too large or too small end up in throwaway IPA.
Then there's the Sling It Out Stout, which is made from Cocoa Pop cereal, and Cast Off Pale Ale is made from leftover Rice Krispies. Kellogg says this is a unique way to use products that would normally just be fed to animals.
Todd, you'll have to be our taste tester for that.
Sold.
And how about this? We want to wish an early birthday to one Central Indiana viewer. This is Sarah Jane Harris, and next week she will be turning 107 years old.
Wow.
Amazing. Sarah is a member of Faith Tabernacle Church on the city's northwest side, and on June 20th she will be celebrating once again. She was born in 1912, and to put that into perspective, that was the year the Titanic sank, and 2 years before World War I started. So we want to send you a very special early birthday shout out, Sarah. We hope you have a wonderful day celebrating and many more years ahead.
Happy birthday.
What an amazing accomplishment.
She looks great
She
still.
does.
She looks amazing, absolutely.
All right, Todd. The forecast today looks amazing for today.
Yeah.
Then after that, not so hot.
Yeah, why don't we just talk about today? Let's talk about today.
We're good with that.
Yeah, outside it is beautiful this morning. A little cooler than it has been the past few mornings, but here's the good news. With the sunshine, we'll warm very quickly here this morning. Live look off to the north. The temperature sits at 48 degrees. The humidity is very comfortable with that dew point in the mid-40s and just a light wind. You'll notice the wind kick up a little bit here this afternoon. I guess that's probably the biggest flaw that we do have in the forecast, but we're only talking about 15 miles per hour, not as gusty as it was yesterday with those 30-mile-per-hour gusts. 46 in Crawfordsville, 48 in Bloomington right now, 45 in Peru and Richmond. You're cool this morning once again, sitting at 44 degrees. So we're clear. There's not a cloud in the sky across the entire state of Indiana. Back off to our west, you do notice some clouds, and there'll be some clouds sneaking in here later on this afternoon, but no threat of rainfall tonight. And we're just dealing with some spotty storms at times as we get into the day tomorrow. So mostly sunny this morning, warming quick. We're right around 70 degrees, but already by the noon hour, mid-70s as we head into the afternoon with just the high thin clouds starting to make their way in here by 4 or 5 o'clock this afternoon. Big event at the zoo. It's the biggest fundraiser that they have the entire year, Zubilation. If you are heading to that, Night in the Jungle is the theme. I'll be there as one of the judges along with Mariner Starantino from RTV6. So if you see us, say hi. Temperature starting in the 70s, falling into the 60s. A beautiful night for that event. Last year was really, really hot. We're making up for it this year, and that forecast applies for anything going on outdoors across central Indiana. The Indians are home. There's a concert at the lawn at White River State Park, Italian Fest, Conner Prairie. So there's so much going on, and the forecast is really in great shape today. And if you're kind of deciding to go to some of these events either today or tomorrow, today is your day, because tomorrow we bring back in the chance of some showers and storms across the area with temperatures that will be in the mid-70s. So as we go through this forecast, and when I show you the 7-day planning forecast, I don't want you to panic and say that it is going to be completely rainy every single day. It's not going to be the case. But as we go throughout the overnight hours, showers do arrive for tomorrow, and they come in waves. And there could be some locally heavy downpours and maybe an isolated severe storm tomorrow. But then there's some breaks before the next wave comes through. And the issue is just going to be timing all of this out before more rain comes in as we head into early Sunday. So that front that goes through early Sunday morning may clear us out and give us a lot of dry hours for Father's Day. I don't know if you'll be able to get out on the golf course, but I think you will be able to get out and about a little bit with a high temperature up to 81 degrees. And here's what I mean by the 7-day planning forecast. I have thunderstorms in each and every day. It's not a washout. We're just going to get into that tropical pattern with the high humidity, and we'll flare up these showers and downpours at times each and every day. But again, no day will be a complete washout.
So much. Well, you have waited long enough, and now it's time for our big Good Morning Indiana giveaway. Right now is your chance to win 2 tickets to see Josh Groban live in concert here in Indianapolis. The show is set for Wednesday, June 19th at Bankers Life Fieldhouse. And that's not all. The winner will also get an autographed concert program and a Josh Groban CD. All you need to do is be the 6th caller right now. Here's the phone number, 317-269-1459. Good luck. You're watching Good Morning Indiana. We'll be right back.
Working for you. This is Good Morning Indiana. Working for you.
Welcome back to Good Morning Indiana. It is 6:54. I'm Meredith Barrick.
And I'm Nicole Griffin. We are working for you this Friday morning, helping you get your day started.
We have your top stories covered, and we are keeping a close eye on traffic. We do want to start things off with Todd Clausen and a fantastic Friday forecast.
Yeah, look at this beautiful sunrise. There's not a cloud in the sky this morning. We're going to continue this view throughout much of the day. It's not until late this afternoon we start to bring in some high thin clouds. Temperatures this morning are on the cool side. You may want to have the light jacket if you're going to be out and about. 48 in Kokomo as well as Indy. 50 degrees is currently the temperature in Bloomington, and off to our west you notice some high thin clouds. These will start to stream in throughout the afternoon and evening hours, but throughout the morning temperatures warm very, very quickly. We're into the 70-degree range by the time we get to the noon hour, and then as we transition into the afternoon, we're looking at high temperatures today right around 75 degrees.
Todd, thank you. We are following breaking news out of Tipton County this morning. That's where a semi crash has closed parts of US 31 near State Road 28. State police tell us one of the semis was hauling hydrochloric acid. Authorities are evacuating homes near the scene due to the wind blowing chemical fumes. We're told hazmat crews are on the way, but they have not yet arrived. We also have a crew headed to the scene, and we'll bring you the very latest as soon as we learn it on the RTV6 app.
Residents dealing with bills from storm damage cleanup after the Memorial Day tornadoes can now apply for extra help. Low interest disaster loans are available to help cover cleanup and repair costs. The United States Small Business Administration is making the loans available for people in Madison, Delaware, Grant, Hancock, Tipton, and Henry counties. Aaron.
Good morning. We are inside the kitchen at the Holy Rosary Catholic Church as they get ready for the Italian Street Festival, and they've got a lot of good stuff. Over 25 different meats, sauces, desserts. You got all the cannolis. You got the meatballs here. They will have these all out here, as well as the live music and games, as well as the carnival that's going on here. All the proceeds go back to the church. There's free parking over at Eli Lilly, and the entire event is actually free. You can get in at 5 o'clock tonight, and it goes till 11, and it's the same thing for tomorrow. We'll send it back to you in the studio.
All right, temperatures warming now across the area after a chilly start. Will be around 53 degrees at 8 a.m. 74, 75 will be our high temperature with lots of sunshine throughout the day today, and then turning partly cloudy this evening. Any activities this evening, you're in great shape. Then we deal with showers and storms off and on, not only for the weekend, but all the way into next week. So have that umbrella handy.
All right, Todd, thank you. And thank you for joining us. We'll be back in 25 minutes with news, weather, and traffic updates.
Yeah, we leave you with a live look outside right now. We're going to take it. We hope you get out and enjoy your Friday.